Oh no, folks. It seems as if Chicago didn't really want to spend $12 to watch this preseason game in person. They didn't want to see the epic return of their number one star that got traded away coming back. I mean, these tickets were going for $7-8, $6.50 in some place.
Angel Reese, the self-described Chai Barbie, was returning to the city that made her famous. The lights were on, the floor was polished, the scoreboard was glowing, the arena was prepared, and the Chicago sky had returned. This was meant to be the turning point, the return, the new beginning. The supporters then appeared, or rather, they didn't.
Watch this. Uh-oh, now look, it's our time. Listen, when Caitlin had her preseason game, y'all wanted to come put stuff in our face and clown us. Well, guess what? Now it's time for y'all to get the same treatment. So tell me why in Angel's first preseason game, and it went exactly how I told y'all it would, she shot 28% in the paint. 0% from the three-point line. Every three she threw up there, clank. And then from the free throws, she made 4 out of 8. She had 8 free throws. They was free. And she only made half of them.
Before anyone ever looked at the attendance figures, the game itself conveyed a tale. So let's start with what transpired on the court. When Angel Reese onto the Wintrust Arena floor for the Chicago Sky's first preseason game of 2026, a contest against the Atlanta Dream, the evening quickly took a turn for the worst. In just 13 minutes of play, she finished with 8 points after shooting 2 of 7 from the field and missing 4 of her 8 free throw tries. It's not a typo. 2 out of 7. 4 free throws were missed. That is the kind of performance that is noteworthy for a player who has spent the last 2 years establishing herself as the face of a team. And nothing ever works with Angel Reese.
Tries to let her ego get in the way. That's where she's going to be dangerous and destroy the team. And I'm being honest here because honestly, she's literally the same player from last year. She's the same player from the year before. She didn't really change that much, man. She's the same exact player, okay? As long as she can score 0 to 5 feet and don't miss layups, she will be fine. But I don't think it's the game on the court is the issue. The issue is, will she be willing to accept a role player position? If she accepts it, she will be fine. If she don't, there's going to be huge problems. This is going to be called Atlanta nightmare afterwards. I'm telling you, that's what it is. It's going to come down to that. Is she willing to accept her role? Because I said this before and I got hated for it, but I don't give a damn.
This was technically Reese's dream debut against her old team because she had made the widely reported transfer to the Atlanta Dream during the off-season. Even the optics of that were peculiar. The city of Chicago had every reason to want to know what she would do when she returned to the building where she had been suspended and faced the organization with which she had openly clashed. The city responded to that question prior to the opening tip. Inside Wintrust Arena, 3,000 seats were vacant. Empty. In a structure that was meant to be humming at this precise moment.
Now, if I had to take a guess, behind the baskets, they said, you guys don't need to sit here. Let's actually file you in to the hundreds, to the 100 sections, and we'll move you towards center court. So on TV, it actually looks like there's more people in the building than it actually is. So I'm assuming that behind this backboard, you see that it's empty. The upper deck, you see that it's empty. But I would also assume that behind the basket that we're getting this camera angle from, it is empty, and the upper deck is empty. If I had to take a guess, 1,500 people in the building? Maybe 1,500?
The internet took note right away, as it always does. Pictures and videos of the vast expanses of empty seats were making the rounds on X, TikTok, and Reddit within an hour of the tip-off. The comment sections quickly filled up. When Angel Reese returned, there were 3,000 vacant seats, and she shot 2 out of 7. We didn't know what that arena did. A few were taken aback. Some did not find it shocking at all. However, the image was unquestionable regardless of one's position. Your story doesn't matter to empty seats. They simply sit there and speak the truth. On April 29th, 3,000 empty chairs in Chicago told a truth that could be heard from the parking lot.
In a while, and I'm sure you came back to a sellout crowd that could not wait to see you, or not. Only 6,724 fans showed up to the Wintrust Arena. Yeah, it holds about 9,500 fans, so we're talking roughly 3,000 fans away from being sold out to see the return of Angel Reese.
This is where things get more tricky because this particular story has been told before. Think back to May of 2025. For a preseason exhibition game, Angel Reese and the Chicago Sky headed to the Pete Maravich Assembly Center at LSU, her college home, the venue where she won a national title, and the location that made her famous. They were unable to fill the lower bowl that evening, thus the upper bowl never even opened. Some tickets were being resold for as little as $50, while others were going for as little as $11, while the seats remained vacant. In 2025, social media gained access to such pictures and did not let go. However, it appears that the lesson was not understood since Chicago repeated the same thing in 2026, just in her own city, as those LSU supporters.
Yeah, just being grateful for my opportunities that I did have here in my first 2 years. A lot of positives, and fans came out and showed a lot of support for both teams. So I'm really happy and grateful, and happy to be here with Atlanta.
And just your first experience playing with all your good teammates and in the official campus. How did you feel you were feeling out there with your new teammates?
Yeah, I didn't feel new. Everybody keeps asking how I feel, but
It's difficult to miss this pattern. Reese's 2025 season did not end gently. With a record of 10 wins and 34 defeats at the end of the season, the Chicago Sky had one of the worst records in the league and missed the playoffs for the second consecutive year. To put things in perspective, it's not just a horrible season. For a team that had real postseason hopes when they built around Reese, that is a historically difficult period. However, the team's on-court collapse was just one aspect of the tale. Things became even more chaotic off the field. In an interview with the Chicago Tribune, Angel Reese hinted that the team needs to bolster its lineup or she could think about moving elsewhere. The Sky did not react well at all. Following her statements, they suspended her and publicly declared them to be harmful to the team. It is not insignificant that a player was suspended by her own squad in the middle of the season for criticizing the team's performance. That's the kind of thing that follows you, and it followed her all the way to Atlanta and into the offseason.
She doesn't believe her teammates Rachel Bannum or Haley Van Lith are capable of leading a playoff team. And according to the Tribune, Reese believes that the team needs to be overhauled this season around just two solidified pieces on the 2026 roster, herself and Camila Cardoso. She said, "I'm not settling for the same crap we did this year. We have to get good players. We have to get great players. However I can help to get the best here, that's what I'm going to do this offseason. I'd like to be here for my career, but if things don't pan out, obviously, I might have to move in a different direction and do what's."
There were plenty of headlines when the 2026 preseason rolled around and Angel Reese returned to Chicago in the Atlanta Dream colors. The suspension, the return, the franchise departure, and the doubts over whether her romance with the Sky was really over. Beneath all of that was the oldest and most enduring critique of her performance, which persists regardless of how many rebounds she grabs. Her shooting efficiency, particularly her incapacity to convert shots at the rim on a regular basis. Since Reese's freshman season, this has been the main topic of discussion around her game, and following her performance, it resurfaced. Her high rebound numbers, which are truly amazing on paper and indicate that you are recovering your own misses rather than creating second chances from someone else's, start to tell a different picture than the box score implies, as critics have been pointing out for the past 2 years.
Whole time, you guys were serious about Angel Reese rebounds coming from her own layups? I ain't believe it till today. Like, I'm looking, I see she got 7 in the first quarter. I'm like, oh yeah, she balling. I go on ESPN, Angel Reese offensive rebound. Angel Reese miss. Angel Reese offensive rebound. Angel Reese miss. Angel Reese offensive rebound. Angel Reese blocked. Rebound. Angel Reese blocked again. Rebound. Bruh. Do you not have other teammates, gang? After the second miss, just pass the ball. What am I looking at right now? This all happened in the first quarter in the span of 2 minutes, bro. I thought people was trolling when they said this, bro. Like, I know the Caitlin Clark and Angel Reese beef on the internet is crazy, but nah. We gotta leave color out of this. What the hell is that? I'm surprised her teammates are not upset at her, bro. All these attempts, you could have easily passed the ball. You rebound, you see you can't put it up, pass it. I'm in disbelief.
The most notable instance of this trend occurred during a game versus the New York Liberty in May 2025, which went viral for all the wrong reasons. Reese pulled down 12 rebounds and missed 8 shots during a portion of that contest. 5 of the rebounds came from self-generated second opportunities in a 19-second period. 5 offensive rebounds and 19 seconds off her own missed shots. The video became viral. It was utilized by pundits on all platforms, sports analysts, and casual fans to demonstrate the true nature of the controversy surrounding her game. There are actual rebounds. It's also true that such rebounds are fueled by misses. Furthermore, the whole picture becomes much more complex than a stat line alone can convey if you comprehend how the second number generates the first. That scene was never truly removed from the discussion. Additionally, Reese made 2 of 7 shots against the sky from the field.
Finished the game. 8 points, 7 rebounds, 3 steals. She was on fire. She was cooking. She was cooking. At least that's what you would think. With this Yahoo Sports graphic, and of course fans, they weren't letting it slide by. Well, shot 2 for 7. You can find better hoops at an 8th grade AAU. Damn. Poster stats, dog. 2 for 7. Field goal, under the rim. 4 for 8 from the free throws. Out.
This is the reason why the discussion of shooting inefficiency is so difficult. Reese's decision to take challenging shots is not being condemned. She isn't making off-the-dribble pull-ups from mid-range or making contested threes. The easiest shots to make are the ones she is missing. Free throws, layups, and close-range shots. A player with her size and athleticism should be converting such shots at a high rate. Finishing at the rim is supposed to be a strength if you are 6 feet 3 inches tall and have the build of Angel Reese. Strength rather than a weakness. However, that is the very aspect of her game that consistently makes headlines for the least desirable reasons. Game after game, preseason after preseason. Not her misses, not her steals, nor her defensive presence, not her rebounds. The discourse regarding your game has not progressed as you would like it to if your missed shots are the main topic of discussion following a game.
This is the game from tonight.
Angel Reese was shooting the three. Angel Reese steps away in the passing lane, forces the turnover, calls her own number, can't
What is
finish.
this?
I bet that was highly. She fouled out of the.
Give her that shot. Angel Reese doing
Pathetic.
Some action on the defensive glass.
Plank.
was excited for her opportunity to
Free
return to
throws.
Chicago. And now this league and
You think she's Kayla
up
Clark?
there as well. Blocks the read. We've got 2 new teams here in the league this year. Angel Reese on her
Give me
head, going
that.
right at Cardoso. Angel with the rebound. Angel with the putback and try.
Let's return to those 3,000 vacant seats now, as they merit more than a cursory remark. In Chicago, the public's growing disinterest in Angel Reese did not just happen. Fans process all of that as it developed gradually, silently, through a 10-34 season that no one liked to watch, a public and unpleasant suspension, and a franchise exit that felt more like a relationship that had quietly run out of RD than a victorious departure. They recall it. Additionally, 3,000 of them thought their sofa was a better alternative than purchasing a ticket to watch their former athlete make a comeback in a preseason game. That is not ignorance-based apathy. Therefore, it is not worth asking whether those fans were paying attention when 3,000 people in the player's own market, in a building that had hosted her games for 2 complete seasons, chose not to attend a widely publicized return. What were they focusing on, and how did they interpret what they observed?